I have learned that with the mind especially, that, don't go into the mind unless you have a map, right? Like a specific reason, okay? Otherwise, it's not a place just to go in and muddle around, because it's logic focus. It's just gonna, and a lot of times just through our conditioning, there's, there might be a lot of limiting beliefs swimming around up there. And so when you go in without a map, that's when you can, get kind of pulled into maybe old cycles or fear and doubt or any of those types of energies that we're not interested in, right? And so for me, one of the self-care practices that I do to help me, be the master of my mind instead of allowing the mind to master me is my writing. Any type of, I believe, creative outlet, or also, physical dance is another thing that really gets me into a state of mindfulness, which is, of course, when you were in the present moment. And that's where we get to access all the good stuff, God energy, right? So, so for me, I focus on one of the things that helps me to stay structured is to have a regular writing, schedule and routine. And so, creating this kind of structured writing routine for me has been really wonderful for me and my mental, mental stimulation. And so that is the mind way that I self-care. And it's interesting to note that, and, just the way that we process things, I guess. But I can tell when I'm not like in a great space, because like the things that truly bring me joy, those are the ones where I'm like, I don't want to do it, or I get writer's block or whatever. I don't even know if I really ever get writer's block. I just kind of get like, maybe I get overwhelmed sometimes with it, but those are the times. And so, really, as far as mastering the brain instead of allowing the brain to be the master, in those moments when you don't want to do it, right? When you don't want to sit at your desk, when you don't want to take out your laptop and do the research or whatever, do it anyway, right? So you walk through that uncomfortableness, right? Which can help shift the patterns around, to make you the master of your mind. And so, so the two things for mind: only use a map when going in. That means go in for a specific reason. Other than that, I focus on my whole physical kind of frequency to help me, navigate, and my heart and my gut, right? But my mind, I look at it as a tool, right? And for me, it's my writing tool. So the next way that I practice self-care is body, right? And so there's a lot of, things I do. I'm pushing 50, and, I've done yoga on and off. I've never been like a big sporty. I was like skipping pee and like smoking in the bushes and shit. So, oh God. But I got really into yoga in my early 30s, and I love to walk and hike in nature. My dad was a big outside enthusiast, so I'm into all that. Anyways, but besides that, I'm very much aligned with holistic health, but also herbal health. And so I wanted to share with you guys today one of my herbal health regimens that I've been doing for probably about the past like 6 months now. And it's rosemary spritz for the hair, okay? And so this is, what it looks like right here. And I'm going to take the glasses off so they don't get all, spritzied. But, and so when I started using this, I was talking to my daughter about like, my hair thinning, and it looks like it's really big, but it's actually kind of thin, like underneath the curls. It's not like that thick. And I was seeing some like little places that were a little, getting thin and stuff. And so she was like, oh my God, rosemary hair stuff is like all the rage on TikTok now. So I was like, let me try this. And, I love rosemary. I need to get my complete guide to herbal right now. And I just love rosemary plants. I love the way that it smells. So I was immediately like, heck yeah, I'm down. Because I've tried a lot of, store-bought hair stuff. And I'm very hyperallergenic, one, and two, I'm down with DIY all natural. So let me get here to rosemary. Okay, we'll see what it says. I just wanted to pull up just like the nutrients and stuff, and then I'll tell you guys how to make it. It's pretty easy. Okay, so a hair rinse, right? So it says that it's good for dandruff. I don't have dandruff, but I just had a little bit of thinning, and I wanted it to be fuller. So rosemary is, let's see, a favorite herb both medicinally and as a symbol for remembrance. Rosemary is a Mediterranean shrub that gradually spread north and was reputedly first grown in England. Well, that's wonderful because the white side of me is all British, so maybe that's why I love rosemary so much. So here is what rosemary looks like if you are unfamiliar. Okay. And so rosemary is good for a digestive remedy. It's an antiseptic. It's a diuretic. It's a restorative tonic for nervous system. Okay. All kinds of stuff. Arthritis, rheumatism. Rosemary is a go-to plant. And so how you make the infusion, it's really easy. You just pick some rosemary, right? And then you're going to infuse it. I think ideally you probably want to use a glass pot. I didn't have that, so whatever. And just an infusement is just you bring it to a boil, and then you lower it down to like low, and you just let it infuse for the last batch that I did. I did like probably about 2 cups of water and probably about twice as much rosemary, and I let it infuse for about 2-3 hours. And then I just, you cool it, and then I just jar it, right? So, and I keep my jars of the rosemary in the refrigerator. And then I fill up my little spritz, and I spritz, and I swear that since I've been using this, guys, I have seen a difference in my hair. So this is my body self-care that I wanted to talk about today. And, just a reminder that plant-based health, I believe, is the way to go and the wave of the future. And then for spirit, I wanted to touch briefly on one of the spiritual channelers that I've been listening to. And, I will share with you guys. And if you're interested in checking him out, please do so. I listen to, and I can, put a link or whatever. But I've been listening to Bashir a lot. I believe the guy that channels him his name is like Daryl Inca or something like that. But he channels Bashir, which, very similar to Abraham Hicks or like Seth, right? And he has a wonderful theory that I wanted to share with you guys real quick before we get into the energy reading. But for my spiritual development, I listen to a lot of metaphysical teachers. I'm really into Neville Goddard. And I also listen to a lot of channelers, as well as, going into nature. I connect with a lot of the elementals and nature, and through meditation. I do a lot of movement meditation, so meditating through music, walking meditation, cooking meditation, eating meditation, but also some crisscross applesauce or laying in my bed and stuff like that. And I also listen to YouTube like all day, every day. So, Bashir again is someone I've been listening to lately that I wanted to turn you guys on to. The last week I've been listening to a lot. He has a Merkaba meditation that I recommend, and also he has it's called the holotrope or holoscope meditations that he does are just beautiful, just beautiful. So check those out. And then quickly I wanted to tell you guys, because this is why I do this, is to connect. I mean, I'm on my journey. I know, if you're tuning into this, you're definitely on your own spiritual journey. And so it's about connecting, sharing resources, information, right? Giving, when I was in the rooms, experience, strength, and hope. And that's what I always want to do, is just to give someone out there in the ethers, some hope that hey, if this chick can do it, then I know I can, right? Or, or just, I just want to be the cheerleader. And so I heard about Bashir's rubber band theory a couple years ago, but I've been hearing about his theory a lot just in the last couple of weeks. And when things come to me, or I hear it really more than twice, I know that that's a message, and so I just tune in a little bit clearer, right? And so the rubber band theory is that basically he says that we are in this world, we are experiencing duality, because really that's what we signed up for. I mean, Earth is kind of a school where we are learning how to literally transmute dark energy, or we could talk about negative and positive polarities, right? And I kind of like that better, even though I still feel like negative. I was going to say negative polarity has a negative connotation, but but anyways, you guys kind of understand. So we were brought into this world, or we chose to be here to help transmute this whole collective energy from a more negatively oriented polarity to a positive oriented polarity, right? And so we're all like volunteers, and so in doing that, right, I mean, he, one of the channelings that I was listening to today, he was like, I mean, you guys are brave volunteers to go there, because the darkness, we haven't seen that level of separation, that level of extreme polarity between dark and light, negative and positive, right? So the beings that are here currently, I mean, we are literally transmuting, I mean, some dark ass shit, man. And I mean, all, going back a millennia. So if you can think about, this idea of releasing what no longer serves and stuff like that. I mean, we're not only clearing out for our own personal, energetic body, mind, spirit, but also the entire collective, right? And so that's a lot of dark energy that we are, that's moving through us, that we are processing, that we are integrating. I was thinking earlier about, I like little sayings and stuff, but I was thinking, about this it's not I battled and struggled with my demons for so long until I remembered, because I believe it's all a remembering. I remembered that all they need is love, validation, and integration, right? And so that was one of the biggest ways that I have been able to help with transmuting this collective dark energy, right? And so what Bashir says is that the rubber band theory is like the further back into that darkness that you have gone, right? So just like think about a slingshot, right? So the further back that you have gone into, I call it like going out into the wilds, being in that dark space, when you finally let go, right? Oh my gosh, the release is so beautiful. And that is like getting rocketed into the fifth dimension, right? And so that theory has really given me a lot of comfort, actually, because like everyone, we're on this journey together. And when I look at all of the darkness that has enveloped our collective consciousness for so long, it can get pretty freaking overwhelming, right? And so the rubber band theory really helps me to see how we are using or not using, but transmuting that darkness in such a beautiful and meaningful way. So that was really, my spiritual lesson for this week. Check out Bashir. So self-care, today is February 13th. And, for those of you that are, into a couple Hallmark holidays, tomorrow is February 14th, Valentine's Day. So I know that this is a time of year when people are, either they're like loving being single and single power and, Valentine Friends Day kind of thing, or you might be energetically in a place where you're feeling lonely or whatever. Remember the rubber band theory, right? So when you let go of that low, and I don't want to say low, but when you let go of that more negative polarizing view, you're just going to get rocketed. You're going to find that partner, whatever it is, right? Because it's all just like different poles, right? So if you're thinking you're lonely and why can't I find someone, and that's one end of the stick. Let go of that kind of, of that focus, and then you will propel yourself into the other side of that stick, right? So it's a really beautiful spiritual lesson for me. And and so that is what I do to, work on balancing mind, body, and spirit on the daily.